10 others are hurt after a shooting in Midland, Texas this morning. The suspect is dead following a standoff today with police. The chaotic situation unfolding over several hours across the city. Really terrifying folks there. NBC News correspondent Erin McLaughlin joins us now. Erin, I know we just learned the identity of the suspect who was barricaded today in a shootout with police. He is the same person who was involved with police on Wednesday night and then fled, and there was a manhunt for him. Tell us more about what we know.
Yeah, that's right, Kate. We have a statement that was just put out by authorities there in Midland, Texas. Let me read it to you. The statement saying that preliminary information shows that when they arrived, the suspect, now identified as Victor Mata Villarreal, 45 years old, who resided in Odessa, began firing shots at officers and bystanders and then barricaded himself inside an abandoned veterinary clinic building. The statement goes on to say that responding officers immediately established a perimeter on the building to mitigate the threat. After a standoff, the suspect was located inside the building, deceased at around 12:30 p.m. Local time. At this time, it says DPS can confirm one victim is dead and 10 others are injured. No law enforcement officers were injured. The statement goes on to read that Villarreal had been wanted for attempted capital murder of a peace officer after firing multiple shots at a police officer during a vehicle pursuit on Wednesday, June 10th, 2026. So a dramatic development there in Texas as the community continues to reel at
June
this tragedy.
10,
11
day.
victims. One of those victims was killed in this hours-long rampage that ended apparently in this industrial area in a veterinary clinic there in Midland, between the airport and downtown Midland. This hours-long standoff, you can see, that resulted in just this massive police presence. You see it there on screen. We were getting videos from eyewitnesses who described just these harrowing moments, hearing the gunshots ringing out. They were hiding in buildings, hiding in their vehicles, doing everything to take cover during this horrific, ongoing, hours-long attack that again ended, according to authorities, with the gunman dead in a building in this industrial park.
All right. Erin McLaughlin with the latest. Thank you. We are also following a big update in negotiations between the U.S. and Iran. Pakistan's prime minister says the final text of a peace deal between the two countries has been reached. Pakistan has helped mediate talks. The prime minister says his country is working to finalize the next steps. A senior administration official says the U.S. could sign the agreement within a few days. President Trump has suggested it could happen as soon as this weekend. Let's bring in NBC News White House correspondent Monica Alba and NBC News international correspondent Matt Bradley. Monica, you have some new reporting about what is in this agreement according to your sources and how it all came together. What have you learned?
Yeah, we're getting kind of an understanding of what is at least a part of this tentative framework that, again, we should just stress, Kate, the actual sides, Iran and the U.S., haven't actually signed it yet. That, of course, would be a really significant step and ultimately a diplomatic breakthrough. But we do now have a better sense, and we can put this up on the screen for you, of what's actually in this framework. We know that the Iranian side had put out a couple of these points, and so senior administration officials countered with their own specific points here. And they want to stress that this is what they call a performance-based deal. So if this agreement is something that is finalized, this would immediately reopen the Strait of Hormuz, that critical waterway. It would restore pre-war shipping within that channel in those 30 days. It would end the current U.S. naval blockade that's there and extend the ceasefire for around 60 days. And I'm told by a senior administration official that over the course of those 60 days, then you would see these technical negotiations take place on some of these broader points and issues about the enriched uranium, for instance. And earlier today, when a senior administration official did hold a call with reporters, they were pressed on this idea of how the U.S. was going to enforce that. And that is still one of the open questions. It was unclear, and this official said that they were still figuring that out. So there's still a lot in terms of the major and most complex aspects to this that needs to be worked out, Kate. But the White House does feel, they say, cautiously optimistic that this could come together for the initial phase of this agreement.
And Matt, what is Iran saying, if anything, about this potential agreement and the next steps?
Well, a lot what Monica was just saying. I mean, we're talking about Abbas Araghchi. He's the foreign minister. He has been very vocal and very involved. He said that a deal has never been closer, but he cautioned, as we're hearing really from all sides of these negotiations, all the stakeholders here sounding palpably frustrated with the sort of fake news that they've been hearing. All of them saying a deal is very close, but a deal hasn't quite yet been signed. So Abbas Araghchi saying the same thing. We're about to see this happen, but stop believing the hype, basically. And that is also kind of aimed, it sounds like, at international or bodies within media groups within Iran, like Mehr News Agency. They came out earlier today with some purported details of what they said was this deal. President Trump slammed them and also called them, in effect, fake news. So, really, a lot of talk all day long today. Not a whole lot of updates on where this is actually going or whether or not we're actually going to be seeing a deal within the next couple of days.
All right, we will continue to monitor. I know you both will very closely. Matt Bradley, Monica Alba, thank you. Up ahead, the Knicks take on the Spurs tomorrow in a game